it's Jennifer from ZIA Be Well, another segment of health and wellness, local businesses that we want to showcase, to give some love to. And sometimes, let the health and wellness, even with ourselves, take a back burner. And so I want to present more of that each week. And this week, I am very excited to have Miss Amanda. She's one of the owners of Dreamworks Performing Arts Center. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Jen. Thank you for inviting me to be here today.
And I wanted to just start off because I know a little bit about you. Yes, I taught a class there and I love her. So I brought her in. But I also, I want to know, like, how did you, I know your background a little bit, but how did you get into this? And I know you're passionate about it. And as far as, what you do for the kids and actually for the community, but how did you start? With your own dance and programming?
Well, personally, I've been dancing my whole life throughout my childhood and into adulthood. And I knew pretty young that this was my path. And I had a pretty good idea that I was going to, at some point, open a studio. Didn't necessarily expect it to happen at the time that it did. I was a very young, I think I was 22, 23 when I signed my first lease, which is wild to think about now. You think you're so grown up at the time, but I look back and go, wow, everyone just let me do that. But, now we have been in business. We are finishing up our 11th dance season. And before we opened our doors officially, we had a couple of kind of trial years. So really, Dreamworks has been a thing for beyond that, probably about 13, 14 years.
And in your heart from the beginning.
Absolutely. And it started out, like I said, just as this little program with some ideas that we could offer something. Maybe that wasn't out there or there wasn't enough of it. So the foundation of it all started because I wanted to provide a dance education and experience for those who love to dance and came from places where maybe they weren't having the best experience. So maybe they were the dancer who was always stuck in the back of the room and they just never got that spotlight moment, never got noticed, even if they worked really hard. Maybe they were in a place or a space where there was a lot of bullying or negativity, or they were just a small fish in a big sea, because sometimes studios pack their rooms to the brim, just wall to wall. And it doesn't matter how talented you are, it can be really difficult to learn in an environment like that for some people, depending on their learning style. So
and they're not always there for the right reason. They're not teaching for the right reasons. They just want volume as opposed to taking care of the individual's needs.
Right. And, I never diss other studios and how they operate, because for some, that works both as a business model and for the clients who go there. And that is fine. But I knew that I didn't want to do that. And there were dancers of all ages who that type of environment was also not conducive to their learning and a positive experience. So that was my big thing. So early on, again, before we were technically a business, which started in 2014, we started with just a couple drop-in classes. And then from there, we decided to put out a thing in the paper back when, the newspaper was how we got the word out.
I missed that,
I know, right? Before social media was a mega thing.
Yeah.
So we put out a little ad saying, hey, if this is what you're looking for, so kind of explained what I just shared with you, we are holding auditions, and kids actually showed up. And I was hoping, but I was kind of just throwing things at the wall and seeing what might stick. Yeah. And they came. And so we had kids ages about 9+ in high school. They showed up and they were from all walks of life. And that started our little group. And then I think it was about a year and a half or so later, I said, wow, we actually are in a place where we need to become an official business, we need to take the group that we have. And at that point, we were already building in numbers and programming. And we need to have our own space and have something available where we can be open as much as we need to and create different levels and classes and styles and all of that. So that's how it all became in the beginning.
And how did you just didn't have time for anything for yourself, just dance and more dance?
Really, yeah. I mean, dance is pretty much all consuming and always has been. And that is okay with me. That is what I love to do. And so
you never have to work again because you love it. You love it so much.
Even the hardest days, honestly, where I feel, even if I'm starting to feel burnt out or I'm frustrated about something or I want something to be a little bit different and I need to work that out in the future, I do remember shortly thereafter that this is what I absolutely love and that this is my purpose and all of the parts of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
That's so nice. What kind of programming do you have? I know I didn't realize that you even taught adults. We discussed that. And like you said, I thought it was just the littles. Mm-hmm. But now and then of course I see your beautiful, your dancers, especially in the holidays and the Nutciracker and everything. So I know you have your teenagers and then they actually come, they come back, the college kids come back to help because you've created such a great environment for everybody that they want to be a part of it forever. Just because they graduated doesn't mean that that's the end of it. So I did notice that too. So what other programming do you have?
So our youngest kiddos, basically walking and up, we didn't always have that, but we have a pretty solid group now of what we call Dance With Me kids and a parent or caregiver with them. Sometimes there's multiple caregivers that tag along because it's super cute. And I don't personally teach that class, but it's really nice and it's really exploratory and gets their feet wet with that super, super early fundamental introduction.
And social too.
Absolutely.
Being social and being not a fear, getting rid of that
some
fear.
Props and really, the locomotor skills and all of that. So that's where some of our kids start out now is as young as the Dance With Me. And then our year-long, or I should say dance year, which is typically September to June, that programming starts at around 2.9 to 3 with our pre-ballet. And then it goes, they're cute as well. They're little ones. And so that's when they get their first official leotard and they get to go on stage at the end of the season. So, and then we have classes all the way, again, those weekly full season classes all the way through high school. Now, I also have, as you mentioned, some alumni and young adults who have decided to come back at varying capacities and commitment levels, and whether that is helping out behind the scenes or dropping in, or some of them actually take my teen, and now I consider them teen/adult classes because they have the time and they're able to do it and they love it and they still want to continue to be involved and grow. And then now we also have adult ballet. Over the years, we have here and there offered other adult styles. I would love to bring in other styles again. It's just a matter of scheduling and finding the commitment from adults in the community and all of that. There's lots of moving parts, but we have had sprinkled in there various styles. And for the adults who wish to perform as well, our Nutciracker, which I'll shift into. So that is also open to our adult ballet students as well as those in the community who maybe haven't danced with us before.
That's a beginning adult class for the ballet?
It's an open level. So we have had everyone from those who have always wanted to try it and have never stepped foot in a ballet class, to others who maybe did it when they were younger and then took time off or, whatever the case may be. And then adults who have continued on and they just found us and now they're taking class with us. So I make it as accessible as possible within that one class format. And we have a lot of fun. And I try to make it so, be as serious as you want to be. But I'm going to try to make you as comfortable, regardless of what your background is.
I would love to take that class. I mean, I was, years and years and years ago, I did ballet, but I mean, and I teach different styles and modifications in my fun, silly dance class. But I mean, I didn't realize that you had added the adults because of us klutz. I mean, I'm a great teacher, but sometimes I feel like, oh God, what am I going to be as a student? So that would be amazing.
It's Thursdays at 7:45,
really?
adult ballet. Yep.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So we have, speaking of our Nutcracker, that is
that's a big deal.
That's a big part of our studio. We have 2 major productions every year. And so one of them is our Nutcracker, and that is all of our dancers and our ballet programming from our primary 1, which is around 6 or so, and up through our high school. They're automatically part of our Nutcracker production. And then our kinder combo, which is a level younger than that, they're invited if they would like to do it a little bit early. And then our hip hop kids, we also invite them if they want to do it. We find something for them. And then, of course, adults are welcome, and we always put it out there to the community. So we have had dancers of all ages, youth and adults, who have come and joined us for our Nutcracker season. So that is a big deal. Most of our students are in that, and
even if you can handle bobby pins, that's a big deal to have volunteers.
We teach everyone.
I mean, because there's everybody has a talent, no matter what it is. And you're like, you can handle the bobby pins. I mean, you can sew. I mean, seriously, organize. I mean, as a community, it's a great thing to participate in for fun, even if you're not a dancer.
I'm going to tell you a secret.
Yeah,
the bobby pins are not usually the thing. Everyone thinks it's bobby pins.
Old.
It's hairpins. A lot of people hairpins, which if you don't know what a hairpin is, it kind of looks like a broken open bobby pin.
Yes.
Those are way more useful than the bobby pins.
Good tip.
Yes.
But I'm so old. That's what I'm saying. The last time in my dance class, it was all about who's got the bobby pins. Right. And that's just a silly thing.
But you're right. It really is
just to have somebody help.
A collaborative effort from teachers and staff and parents and dancers as they get older and more experienced, passing off their knowledge and such to the next. Exactly. You mentioned sewing. We have some amazing parents.
Just to be a part of the community and somebody knows somebody involved in the show. Yep. So you're going to either help your neighbor or see what your child or your friend's child or somebody, and everybody wants to participate. It's really funny. You're like, whoa, do you have a kid in there? No, but I'm here helping because they enjoy it, what you offer, just as a whole.
And part of the beautiful illusion, we'll call it, of dance and theater is that to spectators, especially when they don't have firsthand experience, they see it on stage as the final product, and they don't know all of the steps that
behind
it took
the scenes.
Exactly to get there. They don't know what happened in the weeks and months leading up to it. And they also don't know what's involved actually during the show while they're watching what's right in front of them.
A zoo.
Right.
But it's fun and everybody gets along. I'll watch this one. This one's a runner. Even that. Everybody's like, and everybody seems to know everybody in the production by the end. And it's like, oh, okay, everybody's quiet and appreciates the next performance.
And that's what...
And then you bring it all together.
Every time someone typically gets a little taste of it, well, there's 2 things. Either they're like, oh my gosh, that's so much, and they get a little nervous and like, no, it's okay, we can use you. Come on.
Right.
Or they just want to dive in. But it's always fun to
comfortable. You make it comfortable for everybody.
I do try. But, it's like we have a growing tree, which is one of the staples of many Nutcracker productions. And if people knew what it took to make that tree grow. And so it's things like that are just, it's a lot of fun, and having everyone be a part and make the magic come to life.
And it is funny because once it's all done, you're like, wow, that's beautiful. And like you said, you don't know what was going on behind the scenes, but everybody still is much of a craziness. Everything comes together and everybody has fun and everybody knows everybody's name at the end. And everybody appreciates what has been done to create this masterpiece that you have, and it's a lot of fun. And then that, like you said, if someone's there showing, they're like, hey, I want to dance next year. Come on down. You never know. That's how it happens, so it really is a great production.
Thank you.
So do you have some other, that's the other boss here. We have
my service dog, Hope. She's
Hope.
here.
Yeah, she's here. So that's...
She need to make herself known.
I was just going to say she had to have make sure she knew the audience knew she was here. And then so what else is coming up? Do you have anything coming up for the spring or the summer?
So our second major production every year, which all of our students take part in, is our spring showcase. And that is a multi-genre performance. So from January, February through June, all of our teachers and our students are working through choreography specific to this show. And that it's a very different production than Nutciracker, but everyone really looks forward to it. And that is really a culmination of what everyone has put in over the course of the season. That's where we really see so much growth with our dancers and all of the costumes. For our Nutciracker, our costumes are rentals. So we hold on to them and then we add some new ones here and there and, enhance them. And so then for our spring showcase, those costumes we get each year specific to the choreography and the music and all of that. Yep. So it's exciting in different ways. For our spring show, the kids get to see new costumes and they're really excited to put those on. And we have a lot of great people as part of that as well. And in the meantime, so all of our dancers participate in that. And then some of our dancers, depending on what they take part in and what they're involved in, have additional performances throughout the season. So we just finished up with our competition season, which we only go to one competition a year. That to us, it has its role and its importance. But I've always believed that it's just part of the repertoire of multiple performance opportunities.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold any greater value.
It's not pressure.
Right.
It's not pressure. It's just
going and performing somewhere else. You get the opportunity to be on a different stage, surrounded by different people, and you get feedback from the judges. And I always tell my students, it's a growth opportunity and see if we can do a little bit better than we did the season before, try to meet new people. And so that's a different experience. And not all of our dancers participate in that. It's not a requirement. But our dancers who want to level up and take on more of a commitment than weekly classes. So some of them are part of our ensemble teams, and those are the ones who participate in competition. And additionally, those students do things such as community outreach through nursing home visits and performances.
Oh, that's nice.
We've gone to different events and wherever, like things
charity.
And we've also done fun things like King Richard's Fair and the Bruins. What else? We've done Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation through Six Flags. And we do photo shoots and concept music videos and just all sorts. We did a benefit this year. We didn't run it. We attended it. And it was to raise funds for Children's Hospital. So that was something brand new to us and unique. And again, I feel like exposure to opportunities like that honestly are more important than going to a dance competition, because whether a student continues dancing or not, whether they go into dance post high school at a professional caliber, and there's lots of avenues with that or not, really, no one cares if you went to competition in the real world, and no one cares how you scored.
Right. But you learn empathy and you learn different things that,
Yep. They want to see what other things you've done, and also, the life lessons that you can take out of.
And you learn something every time. Yeah.
Yes. So, and then coming up before our spring showcase is our ballet intensive show, which that's also another program that we offer for some of our kids. So we do an in-house. I don't know how much longer that will last because we're going to run out of space as our programs grow. But we do an in-house.
The parking lot's there's a lot of room.
But we turn one of our dance rooms into a mini theater. So our show each year, it is an abridged version of a story. So, for example, this year we're doing Alice in Wonderland. We did it a few years ago.
Oh.
So this is with a new cast for the most part. So it's their first time, and that we put on pretty quickly. It's a lot of choreography and a lot of scene work in a short time.
Wow,
so we do that.
Elaborate. So it's
a lot, but the kids love it, and we do, so half of our show is that, and then the other half, we have a little intermission, and then the other half is dedicated to student choreography, and that is open to any of our kids ages 8+. And every year we have more and more who are interested and brave to take part, and that's a whole journey as well. But I love being able to offer that because, like I said, there are so many pathways in dance now and in a student's future. And I think that giving them the opportunity young to explore their own movement and see what their potential may be in the creation process, and not just taking it from someone who is already a professional and coming in and just feeding them the content. I think that
you give
is
them room to
important.
grow on their own. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. I love it. What's anything going on for the summer? I mean, just because, and we want you to stay in touch with your website and, social media. I'd rather read the newspaper these days, but, myself, but.
Yep. So we have a full summer of offerings. We don't run our summer the same way as our school year. So most of what we do isn't routine weekly, but it's either short-term commitment or sign up and do it once and explore. So we have, 3 weeks of ballet intensive camp. And then we also have our Wednesday workshops. I think there's 4 of them on the schedule this year. And those are 2-hour workshops. We have one that is a pirouette specific workshop turning. So we have
2 hours of pirouettes.
Yes, but it's going to be fabulous because we have master ballet teacher Leigh Purtill flying in from Los Angeles to teach that. And I have personally taken her class before. I'm part of her ballet company. So she's coming in to run that. And then we have some of our other teachers. There's a lyrical and lifts one. There is a Latin jazz exploratory workshop Wednesday. And then we're also doing a kickline and precision workshop. So those are our workshop Wednesdays. Like I said, they're one time. We try to do things in the summer that might not happen regularly.
Almost
so
like continuing
different.
Education.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we do have a 4-week on Tuesdays session for some of our younger kids for ballet, tap, and jazz.
You can't not have something for the kids to do. They'll go nuts anyway, missing dance all that time.
So for those who want to do about a month of classes, that covers kind of their foundational stuff. And then we also have some camps. So a big one this year is our Wicked musical theater themed camp. We're already filling up with that one. I try to find something from over the course of the last year or so.
Popular too. Remember you did Elsa and Frozen. Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yep, we did Matilda.
Yeah.
So I always try to find something that the kids are really going to look forward to and format it into a mini musical theater camp. So kids who are really into that get that introduction and that opportunity. Eventually, I would like to do full-scale musical theater productions, when I'm not doing all the other things.
I was going to say, I know I do that in the middle of the night, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that...
musical theater, 3 a.m.
Yeah. We have some other camps as well, just for different interests. So I want to say, I think it's the second or third week in July that our summer picks up and goes into the first few weeks of August. So there's something for everyone.
It keeps everybody busy. So
Yes.
now are these posted somewhere? And then also you still want to follow Miss Amanda on social media, because especially the special programming and the workshops, that's like the continuing education is a big deal, because you don't want to just say, I go to dance. It needs to be something where you're learning constantly.
Mhm.
And that's a big deal. It's not just keeping active. It's learning and growing.
For sure.
So are they posted?
Yes. So if you go to, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, Dreamworks Performing Arts Center in Kingston, you will definitely find frequent posts and advertisements to check out there. You can go to our website. You can also email us at dreamworkspac@gmail.com for additional information, or if you're looking for personal recommendations. A big thing with Dreamworks is that it is not one size fits all dance education. Right. And that is pretty much for anything. So we keep class sizes on the smaller side, and we really...
You pay attention to each person.
We try to give a lot of individualized attention, absolutely. And that's a big part of our niche. And what kind of makes us stand out is that it doesn't matter what your past experience, if any, is. It doesn't matter if you've taken time off, whatever the case is, you can come in and I will be able to chat with you, offer an assessment if that's what makes sense, and then go from there and see where the best fit is for you. And because of the way that we operate, and because our class sizes are small, and sort of the intentions that we have a lot of success with kids progressing at a faster rate. And
everybody gets that equal attention.
Yes. Yep. And everyone has a moment to shine. Again, it doesn't matter.
That's so nice.
Where you're at with your skill set.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a nice thing to say, because that's, sometimes, I know as a kid, I got lost in the crowd, and then you're like, oh, the heck with it. I'm not going to that, So like, wait a minute. And then that loses, that you don't realize you need someone else to help you realize your own strength. And then you get that confidence.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We've had a number of students over the years come to us, and they're really kind of turned inward, and I can see a lot of potential in them, or I can just tell that they love to dance, but whatever and wherever they came from prior has kind of dimmed their light. And so then there's work to do, I would say, more than the steps themselves. It's about trying to reach that student and remind them that honestly, it doesn't matter right now where your technique might be. We can make progress with that, but you're here and you're in a space that is supportive and welcoming. And more than anything, we're here to dive into that love and that passion and that interest that you have, and pull you back out so the confidence can be there. Because you have, like, you can do so much with the steps, really. But if the confidence isn't there because they've lost it along the way, then you have to work through that first. So that way they're open to exploring and open to developing from wherever their skill set is.
Developing and getting to know themselves.
Yep.
And that's what dance does. I always knew that, So thank you for coming, Amanda.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Dreamworks Performing Arts Center in Kingston. And this is ZIA. Be well.